Hey guys, want to give a heads up before we start this episode. This is our new weekly breakdown slash review of the Halo TV series. So we will be spoiling heavily. So if you have not started Halo, I would recommend turning this off immediately. We're doing episode 1 right now, but this will be at the beginning of every episode. So obviously, as episodes go on, just pay attention which episode it is. And if you haven't watched that, then I would recommend turning this off because we'll be breaking down each episode and reviewing it and also speaking about the Halo games. So if you are wanting to play the Halo stories or the Halo campaign and care about the stories, I'd recommend not watching or listening to these either. So without further ado, we'll get into the episode here. Welcome to the Current Backloggers. I'm your host, KCP, along with my good friend and co-host, Aaron C. We are reviewing episode 2 of the Halo TV series, Unbound. I know after we recorded last week, you said we never mentioned the name of the first episode, so we're going to try and do that going forward.
Thought that was kind of important, and we just completely missed it.
Yeah, that's something that I know noticed on the first episode. You have so much in your head, and then as soon as you stop recording, you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah,
I had a thousand things I wanted to say. So I know we wanted to start this episode off, and we'll probably just start every episode off like this by covering anything that we missed from the week before. Anything we want to talk about? Was there anything you wanted to bring up from episode 1 that you missed?
Nothing giant. I don't think we covered we did cover it, like the blessed one scene. Mm-hmm. I don't think we went into like what they were talking about too much.
A little bit, but yeah, if you want to go in more, feel free.
I think they were the object, or like she was talking about it on Magical. I don't know if we. I rewatched that scene. And
okay.
I didn't understand their dialogue at first when I first watched it, and then I rewatched it, and I was like, "Oh, that's what they were talking about." So I mean, that was the only thing. I'm trying to think what else I had. I didn't put it in notes, so.
No, I got you. I put a few notes in, but I know I did the same thing. I was like, I'll remember them, and then I want to do the notes, and oh shit, I knew I should have put them in here earlier.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I was like, oh, I should have went back and looked at it. But
yeah, no, it's all good. Going forward, I'll probably do it as I think of it. I know the ones I got for episode 1. The first thing that you brought up was the episode from the name from the first episode was Contact. Was the name of episode 1 that we missed last week, and I kept seeing UNSC last week. I had said how I'm going to try and explain things for people that don't really pay attention to Halo. That's the United Nations Space Command. I don't think I said that once, so I just thought I'd clear that up.
Yeah, because I didn't know what that was until you said it. I just was like, oh, UNSC.
It's a mouthful, too. I'm just used to saying it, but...
Yeah, it's difficult to say. I'm just like, UNSC, like really slowly, like just to make sure I get it right. I want to say USC.
Yeah. And then another thing I had was a criticism I had or a worry I had, which we'll get into in this episode, but continue forward. I meant to say it last week, and I wish I did, because it definitely continued this episode, was him taking his helmet off. Like I said, I was never a fan of it. But my worry more so was that would become the trend, and as we'll talk about this in the episode, that seems to be the case.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were worried about that, because it was like when he never takes his helmet off, ever. In first episode, he was just proudly take it off, and I don't know how I feel about it either. And now this episode especially.
Yeah, I didn't like him doing it at all, but I got if they wanted to show it and like humanitize it for a minute, and the way they did it, I was like, okay, whatever, I get it. But I was hoping they wouldn't take advantage of it, and so far they definitely are, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
The only other thing I had was kind of a big one for me was we're talking about everybody's opinions of Halo and how they seem to be overly not critical but unfair, I think. And when we were discussing the first episode, I mean, and something I was thinking about, the people that are most critical of it are the same kind of people that absolutely love Marvel movies and how they have 20 different Spider-Mans and the same kind of people that the new Batman is the best Batman of all time because it changed the way Batman was, and that they have different ways to tell these stories. So I find it funny that the same people can't fathom that there can be a different storyline in a Halo. Like, that seems
kind of stupid.
Yeah. Hypocritical, especially because there's so much crossover. I was the main audience of Halo, the same main audience of Marvel, DC, all the nerd stuff. I mean, I'm a fan of it. I'm not mocking it, but it's all pretty similar audience there.
And that's why I give everything a chance. Like, as far as Marvel, DC, I just watch it all. Yeah. And if it's bad, if I like it, I like it. So the fact that they're being critical of a story that is, they already told us it was going to be different, and they're still comparing it to the other one. So like, you already were given a heads up. So why are you so angry?
Yeah, I do. As I said last week, I think you can still be critical of it. I think you just have to be constructive and fair about it. Like I said, I know they're telling their own story, but I still think you have to do it well. And I feel like, I don't know if you saw the newest Batman, did you?
Yeah, I did. I loved it.
Did you? I thought it was good. It wasn't close to my favorite Batman of all time.
Oh no, and Dark Knight is my favorite Batman.
Yeah.
But it was a solid Batman movie.
I think it was good for me. I mean, I think it was good. There's a lot of issues I have. I won't turn this into a Batman podcast for now. We can maybe do it another time. Because my point of it was that I was critical of it because I think I knew they were doing a different story. I didn't mind that it wasn't Christian Bale, it wasn't The Dark Knight. But anybody I talked to that loved it was like, oh, you just don't understand. It's a different storyline. You're just used to The Dark Knight. I'm like, no, I grew up watching the Batman show. I grew up watching every Batman movie. I'm not going to say I read the comics, but I collect them and like looked at the pictures. I played Batman games. I know that there's different stories, but I think just because the story's different, I still think you have to execute it well. And I do think there's a lot of issues with the new Batman movie that I have.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny that, kind of to double down on what I was saying, when anytime I criticize that, people just act like I don't know what I'm talking about because it's a different thing. And now those same people are the same people that
are criticizing Halo.
Yeah, and not even realizing how hypocritical that is.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
But if you don't have anything else, we can get into episode 2 of Halo Unbound.
Let's get into episode 2, which is let's go from the top.
Yeah, I guess that's another thing we should have said. We talked last week about how going forward it would probably be kind of generic takes on the show, but I know we talked afterwards and said we thought it'd be better to continue as we were doing kind of a breakdown of the episode.
I kind of liked it. I thought it was fun.
I will say you can add anything you want. I definitely left out chunks of it because I feel like there's parts that there's no reason to put in here that I felt like I would just be putting in.
I did the same. I tried to cover the big points and all plot comments. So.
Yeah, that's what I did, and then leave out. I left out parts and I started adding to because I realized you had to have at least some connection. Like, why did that jump to there? It doesn't make sense. But yeah, there's a lot of filler in this episode.
Yeah. So it starts with a nice flashback. Master Chief and the guy doesn't really look like Master Chief, but he is. And I don't know if you noticed, like, the room he was sleeping in, but it was just a long hallway of beds.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is the most depressing, like, area to sleep in. Pretty much. So
I think that's pretty close to the real military, though, right?
Yeah, kind of I'd say it's similar. Yeah. But I was just like, woo, it's really depressing in there.
Yeah.
There were just beds. That was it. I was like, damn. But then Soren, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Soren. Yes, Soren's trying to leave. Dip. And I guess John was supposed to go with him.
Yeah, he wanted him to, yeah.
Yeah. John was like, nah, I ain't leaving. And he was basically trying to get Soren to not leave. And then they dialogue. He was like, you got 5 minutes. I'm waking up the whole camp.
Yeah. There's a few things about this scene. Well, first off, it started with the previously on Halo, which I was glad they did just for people that aren't caught up.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that would have been a real easy spot to put Steve Downes, the real actor of Master Chief, that would be on previously on Halo.
Oh, that would have been cool.
They didn't do that. I'm not surprised, but yeah, I think that would have been real easy. Not Easter egg, but like nod. Yeah, like you said, the guy that plays young John couldn't look much less like him. And once you see Soren later in the episode, I feel like his isn't very close either. John's is worse. I will say
they're both bad.
Yeah. They both did a good job of acting the character, though. If you actually pay attention, like how they're acting is pretty similar. Especially John, his voice, he kind of matches like the style of Pablo Schreiber.
Yeah, I thought the voice was good. Just the look, I was like, that's not. How did he turn into that? Like what?
Yeah, I guess to be fair, I feel like a lot of movies have that issue because it's so hard to find good actors that act the same and look similar.
That's true.
But again, to be fair, it's still a criticism I have of other movies and shows. So I'm not just gonna leave it out just because it's Halo.
Yeah, we're gonna
still.
Yeah, it was a big criticism, and I noticed it immediately. I was
like,
oh, this is supposed to be John. That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't even notice until you realized that it was like the Spartan camp. I was like, I didn't know who we were looking at. So it looked such little like John that I was like, oh, this is him. Okay.
Just a random guy just chilling.
Yeah, this is, like you said, the first time you meet Soren 066. I'm not going to say him every time. I'm just trying to get the codes of each one the first time. I actually almost mentioned him last week because we were talking about Silver Team, John, and the other 3 Spartans. And I was looking at IMDb, and I saw there's a 5th one. I almost brought it up. I was like, I don't know if that's a spoiler. And then, of course, the next episode, he's in there anyway. Yeah.
I didn't know there was supposed to.
Yeah. I guess if you look at IMDb, though, I don't know if they're just not paying much attention to Halo or they're doing it purposely to keep spoilers away, because I try and avoid IMDb on shows like this because if you pay attention, the credits will give things away. Like it'll show this person's in 3 episodes. You know, oh, they probably are going to die here. But then I saw Soren was listed on every episode, and obviously he's not in the first. And Jen Taylor, the voice actress of Cortana, is listed in every episode, and we still have yet to see her, obviously.
Right.
So I don't know if that's intentional to try and avoid spoilers, or if they just, like I said, aren't paying much attention to Halo. And
they're just like, oh, they're in every episode.
Yeah. So I guess as far as IMDb, it's free reign to talk about it, not really spoilers like normal.
Oh, interesting. I also noticed Soren's arm is like burnt. It's really burnt. And he said it was because of Halsey, so I think he said it's because of Halsey.
I think he implied that.
Yeah. He said Halsey's name, and I blaming her.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting, and he obviously dislikes her quite a bit, and later in the episode.
Yeah, there is even though I was acting well, I think this whole scene was a little too corny and over the top as far as the dialogue that was happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, then Soren leaves the Spartan camp, and did you have anything else before we get to the next part?
I just want to say 5 minutes, dude. Serious.
Oh,
5 minutes? He even asked him, he was like, give me 10. And he was like, 5. And then I'm waking up the whole camp like, okay, bro. Like, you're just not friends at all, apparently. You're just like, I'm giving you 5 minutes, buddy.
Yeah, I feel like that's where the corniness kind of came in. I think they were trying to double down, like the Master Chief follows orders. He doesn't care. But I was like, okay, we get it. You don't have to. Seems a bit much to
I gave him 10.
Shove it down your throat. Yeah.
Like 10's enough time.
Yeah.
5, come on. He's rushing. He's already stressed. Trying to get off this planet.
Yeah.
Gave him enough time to get in the ship, and that's it. They can easily shoot him down. I thought it was kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
All right, we see how John treats his friends. Or maybe friends. I don't know if they're friends.
Yeah.
They implied that they're
Yeah.
friends.
The next thing I had was it cuts to the Pelican and Chief and Quan are in it. Is that?
Yep, that's what I got. I guess we see hyperspace for the first time.
Yeah, which I think a lot of people are gonna make fun of, but I think that looks accurate to the game. I thought it looked cool.
I thought it was cool. Yeah, I thought it was done well. And then he tries to explain it as like a ball of yarn, I think is what he starts to say to and she's just like, you're ruining it. And I was like, good, she cut him off, because I was like, if he keeps explaining it like this, we're gonna get so many memes about the ball of yarn. And then I think starts asking him like, and then he a little girl or something like that.
Yeah.
And then that was that.
Yeah, not much there. I think next thing I had was it went to the intro. Unless you got anything else.
Yep, then I have intro.
Alrighty.
So just a quick scene Oh, they're in hyperspace.
Yeah.
True.
And then it went to the UNSC fleet camp on Reach, and
looked awesome. I thought it looked really good.
Yeah. This is the first time we see Lord Hood, and I was bummed that it wasn't Ron Perlman. This is what I talked about last episode, that he's like a bona fide real actor, and
he's so good. He's a really good actor.
So I thought that was a layup. Like I said, I want Steve Downes and all these people to be in there, but I feel like maybe there's reasons or excuses. Him, I don't really see, unless I was going to say unless the money's too high, but I can't imagine that'd be the case with Microsoft and
$90
Paramount
million budget.
Showtime.
I feel like they can pay
it. So they got somebody named Keir Dahlia. I don't know who it is. I got to say, I think he did a good job. That's the funny thing. All these people they keep recasting, it's not really a knock against them. I just think it could be much even better if they took these extra steps. So I thought he was perfectly fine, nothing special, but
yeah, he was just played the character. He's
an
old man. He is what he did well.
I think it's another point where I realize IMDb might be misleading because it says he's in one episode, and then obviously you don't see him die or anything in this episode.
So he's probably in.
Yeah, I feel like I don't see why. I feel like that'd be really weird to have him in there and then just abandon a character like that. But I guess we'll see. I know. Did you have anything to add there? I have the next thing. Halsey talking about the plan.
Yeah, I have. It was about the plan with. I don't have.
They don't say it, but I think she's implying Cortana because she's on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's talking about how they have a plan to help with the situation, and they don't ever say it, but I think you're supposed to know that she's talking about Cortana.
Yeah, I think she was talking about the object also.
Yeah.
I think he asked her what the object was, and she didn't know.
Yeah.
And then, first time calls, he doesn't know, or something like that. And I was like,
get her.
Like, damn, bro, call her out.
I think the next scene cuts to all the Spartans or Silver Team, and I put all their names down. It's Kai125, which I know we mentioned in the last episode, but the ones we didn't have was Vanek134 and Riz028. Like I said, I'm just going to say their names going forward. I just wanted to get all the codes in there.
Yeah. They don't have their helmets on.
No, they sure don't. They put it on for like a half second.
They're all walking around, no helmets. I think it's the first time we see them without their helmet. Did we see last episode? I think they kept their helmets on the whole.
I think you see,
or maybe one of them.
Yeah, so I feel like you see one of the girls,
but all of them,
did
not have their.
No.
They have orders to go after John.
Yeah. Yeah, and then next thing I would have was it cuts back to Chief and Quan again in the Pelican, and then things start getting all crazy, and they're dodging asteroids and trying to survive, and then they finally get through it and find. I don't feel like the planet, kind of like a floating
it's like a
station.
City in.
Yeah.
Like just in the middle of the asteroid field. But I had something when they were.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna die, and then she answers, everything dies.
I thought about putting that in there. I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt with her. Too much corniness.
Yeah, but, I was like, oh my gosh. But really, he just does not give a fuck about life then, apparently. He was just like, everything dies.
That's where he could have helped the audience out, but including you.
And it just shot her in the head.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, this took a big...
Ha.
I hope we get that scene.
Yeah, then they find this floating station, whatever you want to call it. I don't think this is part of Halo, and I feel like I didn't touch on this very much last week. I know the Halo main storyline well, but there's so much Halo lore from finding collectibles or some of the books and stuff I haven't seen that some of it that I say isn't canon might actually be canon. I just don't know, but I don't. As far as I know, I think this is just for the show. I don't think this is connected to anything.
City called Rubble.
Yeah. This is the first time you see Chief put his helmet back on, and they dock at this station, and they go through this doorway, and the doorway opens, and there's a ton of terrified looking people all draw their guns out.
Yeah, they were like, why is a Spartan?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They all had weapons so quickly. But I want to know, why did they just let somebody walk into their city?
Yeah.
Like they had no security? Like it was like the Covenant could have done the same thing.
Well, I think it's because they had the best invention ever to move a forklift in front of a super soldier.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I had that.
Yeah, that scene was that was rough. I feel like they like backed it in, and I was like, oh my god. And then it was like a video game because he could have easily walked around it. We saw how high he could jump. He could jumped over it, but instead he was all badass looking, in quotes if you're listening and not watching, and walks over and moves it over. And I feel like it's supposed to be like, look how strong I am, and you guys don't stand a chance. But I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was so dumb. I had no idea what. Like they're just Master Chief is walking, Haas with him. They just move it in front of him, and then he just grabs it and just pushes it. And I'm like, what is going on right now? Like, is that how you stop people from coming into your city?
Yeah, I think that was stupid. I think the fact that they just had him move it was stupid. I feel like I said they were trying to show like these people didn't have much of a chance, and they're trying to show how powerful the chief is. But I think both of them are very poorly executed. I think even if you wanted to be like, oh, they're dumb, they try to put that up. They don't know how strong he is, which they should because they have a Spartan at their station. But even if you want to say that, I thought it would been much cooler if the chief just like fucking kicked it out of the way and just like splatted people against the wall. But instead, he just slowly moves out of the way, and this is so dumb.
Yeah, I thought that maybe somebody shooting him or something, like a tiny action scene could have been good here, because the episode has no action. It's maybe, no, not even, 0.5% action. Yeah. And that's...
So after Chief makes his heroic push of the forklift, he is greeted by grown-up Soren for the first time, played by Bokeem Woodbine, which sounds like the fakest name in the world. And tells everybody, Soren tells everybody to put their weapons down. And then we get about 5 seconds of Chief with his helmet on because he takes his helmet off to greet Soren.
Yep, because that's how you greet somebody. You just take your helmet off.
Especially because Soren definitely doesn't know what the Master Chief looks like, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, he probably hasn't seen him since that one night. So he's probably like, wow, you look different. Surprised they recognize each other, actually, because...
Yeah, do you think the armor would be more telling than anything?
Yeah, that's about it, just the armor. But how does he recognize Soren is the other question, because it looks nothing like the younger guy we see in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah. Like I said last week, feel free to add anything you want anytime I'm jumping in the next parts, just because that's what I got. Next thing I had was this city station, whatever you want to call it, was another weird one. I feel like it felt more like cyberpunk or like the underbelly city of Coruscant on Star Wars. It didn't feel like
the lower levels. It seemed like that.
It didn't feel like Halo at all. It was
no. It also felt like a little bit like Fallout.
Yeah,
just a little.
Yeah,
nothing like Halo. I was like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, and then they start going down that little like mine shaft thing, and then the music sounds identical to Mass Effect, and I was just like, the Mass Effect Easter egg was cool, but it's supposed to be a Halo show, and it's feeling like Star Wars, and Mass Effect was like Star Wars. So I don't know what's happening here.
That train car is dangerous. Did you see how it just like jumped out of the tunnel and then went onto a line? There's like a split second that it has to do that. I guarantee so many people have died from that thing.
It's like Roller Coaster Tycoon when people make those roller coasters that just have a broken part and
you
hopefully ramp over.
Like, I feel like they're just living on edge here. Like, it's supposed to be one of the safest places in the galaxy, and they just have this dangerous train car. I wonder how many people die per year on that thing.
Yeah.
There was something else I had before that, but I guess there's a bounty on Quan, but it's not from the U. It's from Madrigal.
Yeah,
they said that where they went.
Okay, did they? I know that happened somewhere, but I couldn't find it, so I didn't want to add it without knowing it.
Yeah, it was right before they go on the nice train ride. He talks about. I don't remember the exact dialogue. I just talked about it.
I know who it comes from. Do you have it in there later, or try not to say it? Or...
yeah, I have it in here.
Okay, gotcha.
The person from Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Soren introduces Chief and Quan to his wife and son, which I think is supposed to be another big moment because like Spartans are so detached, so they don't have anyone. Right. I'm like, okay, we get it. He's rogue. We get it. He's not a true Spartan.
He's not a Spartan anymore. But yeah. Chief was like, "You have a kid?"
Yeah.
So confused. Like, what?
And this is when Master Chief comes in, rocking a suit that literally looks like Commander Shepard's suit from Mass Effect. It's a black, like skin tight, almost rubber looking suit. Ironically, with the people criticizing his.
Yeah, no, this one was rubber. I didn't dislike it, but also armor is so cool. Why do you have so many scenes?
Yeah, I mean, if this was in anything else, just like a sci-fi movie, the armor wouldn't be bad. I think it makes it bad because, yeah, abandoning the helmet was bad enough, but the fact that they put him in another suit, well, what are you doing? And we'll see as the episode continues, but it's a trend. I get taking his helmet off, I think, is weird from the beginning, but even if you're gonna, I get that there'd be like moments you would in like safe areas or whatever. And maybe even take off the suit because it's so clunky and that's what you are. But he does it so much, so what's the point of even wearing this thing? And when's it going to protect you at the wrong moment if somebody busts in there?
Yeah.
Like, shit. I should have had it on.
He just changes outfits so much. I'm like, what the heck, John? wear your cool Spartan armor. But also, Soren had the same outfit as him.
I was going to say, yeah.
But he isn't a part of the UNSC. So why the hell does he have the same outfit? Like, did Master Chief just bring it? It was like, hey, let's be twinsies today. Just walk around in our cool UNSC uniform. I was like, why are they wearing the same outfit?
No, I thought the same thing. And like I said, did you play Mass Effect enough to know what Commander Shepard's suit looks like? I know you said you didn't play much.
I didn't play too much of it, but I remember the suit.
It was like 1-for-1. What's the fact that this is a Halo show and it's matching Mass Effect as much as Halo? I don't know if that's a...
This could be a bad thing. Could be a really bad thing. And hopefully they're just not like, oh, let's just merge two universes randomly. I don't know what they're doing. Like, the Easter eggs are cool.
Yeah.
But when you bring stuff from another, seems like you're trying to copy it.
Yeah, because I don't think it really. I think the Easter eggs really are just Easter eggs. I don't think they're truly trying to do that. That's why I'm confused why it feels so much like that. Because I don't think they're actually trying to do that. So I think it's really weird.
Yeah, I agree. It's just terrible.
Yeah. The next thing I had was going to High Charity again. Did you have anything before that?
I have it jumping.
Okay.
Which I like this scene.
Oh yeah,
this is one of the scenes I liked.
Yeah, this you get a look at the other prophets, which I don't think they say the names of them besides Mercy, which is the one we heard the first time.
Yeah, I think that's the only one.
I'm assuming the other ones in the game are Truth and Regret, so I'm guessing that's who they're supposed to be, but I think it's weird that they kind of sat there and just...
yeah,
but it was cool seeing them. And the Blessed one is there, as is an Elite, and then something we discussed last episode was kind of answered. The Elite is there, and so you'd figure out he's kind of like spying for him.
Yeah, he was the Elite that got in the Banshee.
Yeah.
When he saw Chief object.
Yeah.
Flew off.
Yeah, the Blessed one asked the Elite what he sees, or what the Chief saw when he touched the relic, as they call it. But that's what the Covenant call it, and then the humans call it the artifact. And the Elite says he saw a ring, obviously being Halo, but...
Yep, that is.
Yeah, because then the Blessed one seems shocked, and because she knows what it is, she's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, and she's like, I need to go retrieve this.
Yeah. And the prophets say it must finally be one of the keystones. And then the Blessed one like you said, says she needs to retrieve it, and the prophets kind of argue that and say
and
that
they're like, no, you can't go. Like, we need you here.
Yeah.
You're too special. Like, stuff like that. I don't think they want her to die, or they're scared of betrayal. Not sure which one, but
yeah.
she seems pretty devoted to the cause.
And I feel like she made the most obvious point. She was like, I have a way better chance. How are you guys going to sneak in? You're floating on this thing, and clearly like the most obvious thing in this fucking universe.
It's like, oh, let's just send a bunch of Covenant ships to go get it. Like, no, just send one human that can blend in, go get it, and trying to get that. Which we can talk about later.
So she argues back and brings up the point of them teaching her about the Great Journey, which is a big thing throughout the Halo games. I don't know which way they're taking it. This is a spoiler for the Halo games. Should I say it even for you?
Which later games?
Kind of the universe of Halo games.
Probably. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't have to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'll kind of try and hide it best I can too. But the Great Journey is something you hear throughout the whole game or the whole series, and the prophets are usually the ones talking about it. And that's why I don't know which way they're taking it, because the Great Journey is in the religious form of the Covenant is gathering all the Halo rings to use them as a weapon. To all 7 of the Halo rings is what they're going after.
Yeah.
To activate it, to use it as a weapon to cleanse all the bad in the universe. And that's what the Great Journey is, but then they also use it loosely, like people doing religious things to like you're on a great journey, like a spiritual path. So it's not always literal about the great journey. It's sometimes just like your journey of going through that. So I don't know which way if they mean it like that, but then she does talk about how the ring is sacred after that. So I feel like maybe they're literally talking about
the ring.
The great journey and what it actually can do. Which they talk about later in this episode about what the ring can maybe do. So I think that's kind of hinting at.
Yeah. And the ring is basically a Death Star.
Yeah.
Maybe more powerful. I'm not sure.
Do you have anything else on High Cherry there?
That's all I got for that scene. I did like it though.
Yeah, I thought that was...
The elites still look a little weird.
Yeah, he didn't look as bad. Like I said, I do think having the CG blend in helps, but I think he still didn't look as good as the prophets.
The prophets look great. I think the prophets look awesome. I don't know what it is. It's like the face of the elite. I don't know what it is specifically, but I'm like, it doesn't look right.
Yeah.
And it's not awful, but I'm just like, it doesn't exactly look.
Yeah.
And that's the only issue I have.
No, I hear you.
All the other prophets, I thought
that. Next thing I had was you go back to the UNSC man post, and they're arguing about what to do once they find the Master Chief. And there's one side's kind of thinking he's guilty, and the other side's thinking they need to protect him.
Yeah, I guess some of them are thinking, oh, we should just kill him if he's not following orders, and the other side, oh, he's like our greatest weapon. Like, what are you talking about? So yeah, it was like a big meeting. I'm guessing commanders.
Yeah.
And then doctors and stuff like that.
Yeah, because Halsey was there, the Keys were there, Lord Hood was there, and then...
Yeah.
Oh, here's a correction I had from last time. It's myself when I was like... I still don't remember her name, which is funny now that I'm going to say it, but I said the black girl. Yeah. And she's definitely Indian, and it's obvious the more I see her, she's totally Indian. But, and I was calling you a bigot, so I thought it was pretty funny. But I still don't know her name to make it even better, double down on that. But she was there as well.
Yeah, and she's definitely Indian, and we were definitely both wrong.
We'll just, if we ever get big, we'll just censor that part out and act like it didn't happen.
Yeah, that didn't happen, guys. You didn't hear that last week.
But then Halsey chimes in and says she has a solution and says, and it's called Cortana.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And
which I was like, yes, I was pretty excited. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, Lord Hood gets on board because he trusts Cortana. He sees what she's saying, and they get a look at the creepy clone thing again in her tube.
Weird. Yeah, clone tube. That's what I have. Just a clone tube. Of her just sitting in there bald and just chilling. So
I think it's gonna be creepier if ever opens his eyes and be like, "Oh god."
Yeah, and I'm assuming she's gonna get hair at some point if
Yeah.
they go off the normal Cortana.
Yeah, they've shown, it's not a spoiler because they've shown in the trailer, Cortana does not look great because they kind of mix. I feel like it would have been so easy just to not make a real hologram, obviously, but a CG thing that looks like hologram. That seems like one of the easiest things to do in a show like this. But
Yeah.
I feel like kind of like a hybrid of, it's not a human, but they try and make it more human, but make it look like a hologram.
I think I saw a clip. Yeah, no, I did see her.
Yeah.
And
not the worst thing, but I think, again, odd decision.
yeah, because I like Halo 3 Cortana is in it a lot. I mean, she's in every game.
Yeah.
But like that's the one.
Did you beat Halo 3?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the main plot of the Great Journey anyways, so that's not.
Yeah, that's the one I haven't beat for the newest one.
I don't even know if they actually really discuss it, so if you beat the main or the original trilogy, then I was gonna spoil it for you anyways.
And Halo Wars, but I'm not sure exactly what it was in the timeline.
Yeah, that was before Halo 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Next thing I have was here on back on Madrigal. Did you have anything before that?
Nope, I just had the clone tube. Yep, Madrigal. And this this scene.
Yeah, this scene, this whole show, this whole episode so far was the total opposite up to this point. It's just like the dullest thing and no violence or anything.
Yep, and this guy just has a bunch of people lined up, execution style.
Bags on the head.
Bags on the head, and he's blasting their head. Like, he's just shooting them.
Yeah, at least I'm surprised they did with that first episode, but it does cut away, but still it doesn't really truly cut away because it does it, and then the blood like splats towards him.
Yeah.
So you still see it. And
I was like, damn, this is brutal. Like, he's just shooting their heads.
Yeah, this is, even, I think the most messed up one is when he pulls up the mask to look at the face and starts talking, and he's like, oh, it's still gonna happen. Oh, Jesus.
I was like, ooh. And I recognize the actor, but I don't know what he was in specifically.
I did too. The character is Venture Garth, and he's played by Vern Gorman, which sounds more like a Halo name than his Halo name.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I know him from. He just looks familiar. I think he does a really good job at just instantly playing somebody that just seems evil and not likable. Obviously, what he's doing, but just even the way he's acting.
Like, I recognize his face immediately.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was something Nazi related. I feel like.
Yeah.
Just...
Oh, he's in The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, is he?
A lot.
That's what he feels like to me, just like the most generic Hitler kind of.
Like, yeah, no, he definitely gave like a Nazi commander vibe.
Yeah. He has a voice and like the presence and everything.
Yeah.
And obviously what he's doing on top of that.
Yeah, on top of that, he's just blasting people's heads off. And he's in Pacific Rim.
Yeah. The next thing I had was a ship comes down, seeing what's happening there. And then Venture shoots at it and shoots like the camera because he could see it. That somebody was watching him.
Yeah, he's really trigger happy. That's what I got from him.
Yeah.
Shot it immediately, and then Warren's wife watching.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that was their camera, or
yeah, I think they're sent a ship or a drone or whatever you want to call it to watch over it. And I think, is this where they're realizing that he's trying to make a deal with the UNSC? I feel like Quan brings that up.
I don't have anything on that.
Might have put too early. I think that's.
But I think they have some dialogue. I don't know if they were talking about like the guy making it. What's the guy's name?
Venture.
Yeah. I don't know if he was making a deal with UNSC.
Yeah.
I think she said her. Yeah, no, because her father didn't want to deal with them.
Yeah.
And so he's like in charge of Madrigal now. Is making a deal with UNSC.
Okay. I knew it happened. I just wasn't sure if I had the right moment. But
I think it was in that scene because she was talking about She was upset, obviously. Now Madrigal's this dude. He obviously has a killing problem.
Yeah.
And then she was saying how her father was the one that stopped that.
Yeah.
Since the elites just came in and wiped out their entire settlement, is gone. So this guy can just take over.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I know there's a lot in between here. If you want to add anything, you can. The next thing I had though that I thought really mattered was Soren giving really matters. Soren giving the Master Chief a smiley tattoo on his hand.
His son?
Yeah, or did I not say that? Yeah, Soren's son. Yeah,
Kessler
I just said Soren.
is his name.
Oh, you have it? Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't have that.
I had something before because I don't know if this is correct, but I guess Master Chief cannot taste food.
Yeah, they take a lot of their, at least in like the books and like the Deep War, they take away a lot of their senses. So I think they're going again over the top with like him becoming human.
Yeah, because Soren's like, taste this.
Yeah.
And then I think he does try it and he's like, I can't taste it. And then he just starts talking about it. I'm not sure if it's a chip or something that he can take out so he can get his senses, but Soren was talking about removing something so that he can get his thing. There's something else. I think they were doing drugs again.
They were. I almost put that in there, but how many times are gonna do that? Yeah,
So,
I feel like it was like hookah. It's like they're passing around. You want one?
Yeah, it's called clarity.
Yeah.
She's like, you want some clarity? And Ha's like, I've had enough clarity for one day. So
that's funny because the audience hasn't yet.
Yeah, we haven't gotten anything yet. So that was interesting, and then we have that next scene where he puts the smiley face on John's hand. I didn't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, I feel like again they're just trying so hard to push like humanity and like connection. Don't think it needs to be pushed so hard, especially so early, even if they want to do it.
Yeah, it's really weird, but he's just like, he gets the smiley face and he like looks upset at it, or like a weird, like something. I don't forget exactly what.
I know he said that his son does that so he can trust somebody. And he can, and then vice versa.
And then John's like, I accept. And he gets like down on one knee, and I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah.
And then they like walk. Soren and his wife walk away to like go to sleep, and he's like, toodaloo, and he like waves at Master Chief, and I was like, what the fuck?
I remember that. I think I tried to put some of this out of my mind, but it's not that bad.
That I was laughing so much at that. I was like, they did not just have him say toodaloo.
The next thing I have was Chief shows Soren the artifact, and Soren tells him he knows a guy he got taken up into a Covenant ship and lived through it. And did you have anything before that?
Soren actually touches the nothing happens.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They just talk. Like he asked him what the Chief's like, I don't know. And then Ha's like, it powered up the ship. I saw it.
Yeah.
And he's like, it was dead, and then he touched it and it powered up the ship, and then that's I know again.
Yeah.
And Chief's like, I don't want to sell it.
Yeah, I guess when he's talking about how he got beamed up the ship, he says his name is Reth. Is it Reth?
Reeve or Rev? Rev.
I had Reth. I don't know if that's right or not. But so they go to see him, and well, I guess before this, there's a couple things actually. Chief finally puts his damn suit back on. Still has his helmet off, of course.
Yeah.
And he's just carrying it around, which I feel like that's what makes it more glaring and fucking weird, that they're making like convenience thing, like, oh, I don't want to wear this helmet, and you fucking have to carry it, which is more worth than just keeping it on your damn head.
Yeah, just put it on your damn head, dude.
And if you really don't need it, then leave it at the room that you're in and come back for it. This is so obvious they just want us to see his face at this point.
Yeah, and it's so easy to lose it if he's just carrying it around. If you have a helmet, put it on.
Yeah.
Like, Come on, man.
But I'll go ahead.
I guess on their way to crazy dude. We're gonna just get some churros.
That's what I had. That's why I said I almost skipped over it. Yeah, let me get 5 churros.
Like, you got any churros?
Yeah, they're so out of place that it's weird that churros isn't a brand because that totally seemed like ad placement. Let me get a bag of Doritos and 12-pack of Mountain Dew. But churros isn't a brand, so it's really fucking weird because there's no...
Yeah, it's just churros.
Yeah.
Got some churros.
Which, I'll plug Halo here. They just announced a Halo cookbook.
They're churros.
There better be churros in there. The cover's hilarious, though, because a Halo cookbook is ridiculous, obviously. But it'd be fun for, like, our Halo events or something, like, make, like, I don't know, grunt snacks or whatever. But the book, at least the cover just shows most normal-looking meals ever. It's like a cheeseburger and fries. What makes this a Halo book? How is this not like an April Fool's joke? What is happening here?
Master Chief's favorite food, grilled cheese.
You think with the churro thing just happening, it would have like churros front and center, but yeah, the churros are nowhere to be seen. But yeah, I definitely noticed how out of place that was, and I fucking love churros, but I was still like, what is happening here?
I just didn't know what was happening. I was like, okay, they got...
I said, I can't believe that wasn't ad or brand placement with how obvious it was, but churros isn't a brand, so I don't know.
Just churros.
Yeah. So then he goes to see the crazy people. And
yeah, it's like an insane asylum, basically, in this city.
Yeah.
I noticed there was a guy drawing. He was just in his cell, and he just had a bunch of things of frogs. Just... he just was drawing frogs.
Yeah, see, this is another thing where I get what they're going for, but I just don't think it's well executed. I get that they're crazy because, like, they're obviously all interact with the Covenant and made them insane, which would obviously happen in real life. People would be affected in different ways, some more than others. So it makes sense, but the scene was just fucking weird, the entire thing. And then one of them was screaming at Soren. He's like, hey, don't be so mean. I brought you churros. God, didn't we already do this churro thing once? What is happening here?
Like, that made it better. Like, oh, I'm not crazy anymore. You brought me churros. Like, okay.
Then I'm gonna call him Reth. You call him what you will, and then we'll see next episode what it is.
Yeah.
He says how the Master Chief is, or says he's not a blessed one. Reth says that about himself. And then the Master Chief ask about what a blessed one is, and they go into that. Did you have anything there?
I just said that he super. He like crawled around on the ground when they first entered the cell, and I was like, "What?" And he like can't pay attention. He's always like looking away from the people, and they always have to like call him back in.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, "Oh, this dude is crazy." But then they show him the artifact.
Yeah. Yeah, that's let's see. Yeah, he asked Master Chief if he's going to help destroy help the Covenant destroy them, and Chief says no. And then that's when Rest slams the artifact into the Chief, and that ring goes around the room, and we get another flashback. Thankfully, he doesn't give us terrible dialogue about it.
We did see the white dog again, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And there was actually a picture of a drawing of the dog.
Oh, Jesus.
Also,
getting Inception in here.
There's something about this dog. I don't know what it is, but they keep flashing back to it in the family. I had something before that.
I'll go for it.
The crazy guy.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll find out his name. Rev. Or he says he was saying that the Covenant search for them throughout the galaxy. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting.
I got you. While Master Chief is had this thing slammed into him and the rings going around, I don't know if you saw how ridiculous his face looked. What? Yeah. You've already done this a couple times. Why are you acting like this has never happened before? And what is going on with your fucking face?
Yeah, I was like, why are you shocked by this? You've touched this thing twice already. I guess he's seeing the white dog. I think that's really messed up.
It must be, because the next part he goes straight Christian Bale Dark Knight on the guy and slams him up against the cage and literally starts screaming like the Dark Knight. Yeah,
I was waiting for the I am Vengeance line. I am Batman to pop out, because he just grabs him like Batman. I forget what he says exactly.
Yeah, me too.
But I was just like, okay, he's Batman. And just like the deep voice too. I was like, all right, Master Chief is
real gravelly.
Yeah, I was like, Master Chief is now Batman.
And then this is where Wrath tells him that Halo is a weapon. And I don't know if you noticed the Halo music kicking behind it. I thought that sounded really good.
That was cool. No,
yeah.
I liked that part.
Yeah.
I did like they did explain like this scene does do a good job of explaining, kind of what the artifact is, like what this is going to lead up to. I just thought the crazy guy was a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, like I said, I get there trying to just emphasize how crazy this would make people, but I still think you have to execute things well just because...
It was a little over the top for me.
Uh-huh.
That was the only... But I thought the explanation, this is a weapon. I thought that was
good. Yeah. Then they kind of leave that area, and Chief and Soren get into it and start arguing, not like fighting, just like arguing. And then Chief eventually leaves that station and leaves Quan behind. And
yeah, which I was like, okay, she's gone already. So
I hope so. I gotta be honest, that's where the Mandalorian kicked in real hard again. So this is literally what happened with Baby Yoda. He left her with that one girl. Like, are you shitting me? He's gonna leave her with Soren and then come back to her?
Yeah. So Quan is Baby Yoda. Like it's 2 episodes in a row where it's basically the same thing. And he just dips. He's just like, you're staying here.
Yeah.
And he just going back to the UNC.
Yeah, I think those are the parts that I feel like most people probably think they're delivered real awkwardly, but I think those are some of the parts that are most like Master Chief. And so really, that's it? You're just leaving? And then Papillo just listening, just nods his head. Yep. He doesn't say it. Just
he's just, yeah, I'm out. See you later.
I really hope that is just doesn't have to be the end of Quan. I just hope maybe that's a little of the story, if anything. But I think it's gonna be straight Baby Yoda, which is sad because at least with Baby Yoda, he's adorable and funny. Quan's just, what the fuck is she providing?
Nothing. She's just there.
Yeah.
To provide dialogue, I guess. But so far, there's nothing about her character. Okay, what's the purpose of her? I was just like, okay. I did like the scene of Chief walking out.
Yeah.
He looked cool.
Yeah, he finally put his helmet back on, which if you're just listening to this, we said that a few times, you might be like, I feel like you're exaggerating. It's only had it off that a little bit, but like I said, we're skipping over a lot of portion of it. That majority of, I'd say 98% of it, he didn't have his helmet on. And
I would even go 90% of the episode. He doesn't.
Yeah. And then,
doesn't even have his armor on.
As I said, a good portion without the armor in general. And then next thing I had was once Chief leaves, he shows the UNSC where he's at because they've been trying to find him.
The silver team is trying to find him.
Yeah, it turns on his beacon so they can find him. And then he gets there and they put him in handcuffs. And he's already out of his suit and helmet again. It was about 2 seconds if you're watching it.
Yeah.
I was like, are you shitting me? Then Halsey pulls up in a warthog. And I had a typo here. Marines take the artifact from the ship.
Yeah, take it from the ship.
Yeah. And then the other Spartans or Silver Team take Master Chief away.
Yeah, they escort him.
Yeah. And then Halsey takes a look at the artifact and then visits John in the jail cell, is what I had. Did you have anything?
Yep, that's what I have.
Okay, gotcha.
She visits him. They just have like some dialogue changes.
Yeah.
Basically about what happened.
Yeah.
How what John did is going to cause problems for the Spartan program. Yeah. That's what I got.
Yeah, I think there's more after, but I think to that point that was it. Because then it cuts to Venture Garth, and this is where he shows they have a deal with the UNSC, and you figure that out today for sure. They struck some kind of deal, so be curious to see what that turns into.
Yeah, and obviously he's not the best person because he's just blowing people's heads off. So yeah. I wonder if maybe him and Chief are go at it or his character.
Yeah, that's feel like that's the issue with making it too humanitarian, is that if they go at it and they actually have a battle, that's going to look ridiculous because Chief could just shoot him in the head. Even if Fincher's hitting him, he's still dead. He could just charge into him. He could throw him.
It'd be his ass. I mean,
Yeah, I feel like you need a brute or a lead or something to make it a realistic battle.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Covenant are the main guys. It doesn't. They're established as like this is who we're fighting, but I've seen them fight once so far.
Yeah, and we still haven't seen Jackals, Grunts, Brutes, any of their vehicles besides the Banshee, and obviously like their drop-off ships and their regular vehicles. So yeah, there's a lot missing still. I know it's only 2 episodes in, but
it's only 9 episodes. So...
Yeah, and I was gonna say there's a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be there. It could have been in place of the things that are missing. So,
the next scene I have, Blessed One is just stripping.
That's what I got.
Pretty much.
Yeah. The nice thing is she took off that absolute ridiculous outfit. I didn't say last episode. I guess that's another thing. That thing looked like a fucking black, fucking burrito that she was wrapped in.
Yeah,
this thing looks so fucking dumb. And so that's a bonus because that gets taken off, and then it's a double bonus because we realize that she's called the Blessed One because we see when she takes her clothes off why she's called the Blessed One.
Yeah, we do. She's definitely blessed.
And then that's where you realize that the show is kind of like breaking the fourth wall because we're truly the blessed ones by being able to see it.
Yeah, no. So we're blessed. She's blessed. Like it was a good scene.
It was. Hopefully get more of that. We'll see. Then to just round out that goodness, we get some more corny dialogue between Chief and Cortana. Not all of it, but there was some in there. Those come on. But then I feel like where it starts to pick up a little, well, I guess may not picks up, but at least has substance. Halsey asks the Chief why he came back, and he tells her that there's no one else he can trust. But then that moment's ruined by him looking down at his hand and rubbing the smiley face. And I was like, "What? What is going on here?"
Yeah, the smiley face. It's just bad. It's not good. Why does he even?
Yeah,
but I did like that he said that he could and I think Halsey is one of the so far the actress that plays her is one of the best in the show. Yeah, like every scene she's in, corny. Her lines are delivered really well. So I did like that part, but then the smiley face. So I don't know if he's saying he can trust Soren's kid or
I don't know
if he wants to put the smiley face on her or
I don't know if that was that or the way they delivered. I don't think it could be it if it is fucking incredibly dumb, but the way that it made it seem was like he was looked at that like you're the only one I can trust. Like you even lost the smiley kid's trust. You lost me, kid.
But, already.
The kid did nothing, so obviously I don't think it can be that, but the way they deliver it definitely made it seem like he's mad. I thought I could trust him, but I can't, so I came to you, Halsey.
Yeah.
And then I agree with you that she's one of the better ones. I will say this was a little creepy. She was like, well, then I guess I should say thank you, and did this real creepy smile at him. And I was like, why are you doing that? And then she says, I see this as a new beginning. We're going to do great things together. And then it cuts to creepy clone girl, and Halsey's over it and starts like pressing buttons. So I'm imagining that's probably the start of finally Cortana 3 episodes in. I think that's what she's in. The new beginning is Cortana and her, because obviously earlier in the episode we discussed how they were kind of debating on what to do with that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think next episode is when we'll hopefully see Cortana for the first time. Because obviously the direction is Chief is back at the UNSC. They already talked about what happens when he's back, and so I think that's what.
Yeah.
And maybe the blessed one is.
I wonder. I hope she puts on a really fucking stupid disguise, like a mustache, and you see her next time has a hat on, a mustache.
She'll put Chief's armor on since he doesn't wear it.
Fine, I'll wear it then, and I have a smiley face.
Like, yeah, I'll take that from you. If he just leaves it laying around, anybody can just pick it up.
Yeah, well, that's why he's always carrying. He makes sure that he doesn't care if he's not wearing it, but as long as he has it on him.
Yeah, he's very securing it.
I think that's all I had as a kind of overview of the episode, or the bit by bit. Did you have anything?
Oh, that was it.
Okay.
Episode. And Paramount did their stupid ad thing again.
Oh yeah, you got to see it firsthand. You were over here watching with us this time, and
Yeah,
saw
I
that it
was
wasn't
like, that is evil. How are you gonna put an ad and then just have the credits roll after? It's like, oh, the episode's not over.
Yeah, they better. It's gonna be even more dumb, and they better hope they don't like the last episode of the season and have an after credit scene or something. Because I'm sure we
Everyone's
sat
gonna turn
there,
it
but
off.
yeah, most people I'm sure is like, oh yeah, I know what this is. I'm not gonna fucking sit through this again.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're evil and put the ad on before the credits every episode, so I'm just gonna turn it off now.
Should we kind of do our review of the episode then?
Yeah, we can view what we got. Gonna do out of Haas. How many Haas?
Yeah, I can do that. I'll start first. We can switch, alternate each episode. I'll start with saying when I rate stuff, I use a full scale. Like most people, anything under a 7 is terrible. I feel like I didn't do this beforehand, but something like 10 is like not perfect. I think that's another weird thing people do. 10's perfect. No, nothing ever gonna be perfect. So 10 should feel like top tier. And then 9's like amazing, 8's great, 7's really good, 6 is good, 5 is mediocre, okay, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
And then like bad, really bad, awful, terrible, whatever you want to say. I would say for me, this one was a 5. I think it's okay. I think there's obviously a lot of negatives, but I still think it's not the worst thing ever. I think it's okay. I will say, after the first episode, I had so much hope, and this one didn't just make me lose all hope, but I was like, man, you had so much to work off of, and I'm not going to say they missed on every opportunity, or it wouldn't even be close to a 5, obviously, but they could have hit on a lot more than they didn't. And but at the same time, there's so many seasons of shows that have not just a bad episode, but streaks of bad episodes. So unless this is unless this trends and keeps getting worse and worse, I'm not too worried about it. I just feel like they kind of missed chances they could have had to build on it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Overall, compared
5
to
Haas, sorry.
5 Haas.
Yeah.
5 Haas out of 10. Overall, compared to the first episode, this was because the first episode like got on the ground and started running the action and like showing the world and stuff like that. This episode just had stuff that I was like, what was the point of that? Like the churros and the little insane asylum with the dude drawing frogs. I was like, what is this? Like, what is this place? Like you said, it doesn't look like Halo. That took me out of it. I have it at 6 Haas out of 10 because I didn't hate it because there was stuff that I liked. Like I liked all the prophet scene. I really Halsey, all that stuff was good. There's just some of the corniness is just bad, and that's why I gave it 6. Where the first episode I loved, I gave it.
Yeah, that's I think we both gave it 9s. I think so.
Yeah, because I really loved the first episode, and this one was not the worst episode I've ever seen in a show because there was like plot and progress.
Yeah.
But there was some stuff that
yeah, and as I said last week, not every episode has to be jam-packed with action. I know that's not what you were saying either, but kind of double down on fair criticism. I think it's I'm totally okay with episodes that are mainly story-driven or even all story-driven if it's actually moving the storyline and entertaining. But
because you can do story-building episodes and they can be...
Yeah, this one kind of just failed on both ends. Almost zero action and some good story building, but majority of unnecessary or just bad.
Yeah, so I thought a lot of the scenes with Chief and Soren were like, okay, why do I care about this guy?
Yeah.
We just got the one flashback at the beginning. They're just best friends, or seeming like it. So I thought that was weird for me.
Yeah, which is a bummer because I didn't say it when I was talking about the actor, but what was his name? Um, was it Bokeem? Is that it? Can't find it now.
Guy who played Soren.
Yeah. Some my notes. Yeah, here it is. Bokeem Woodbine. It's unfortunate too because I think he's a really good actor. Like I liked him, but there's just not.
Wasn't a lot there.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like he was doing really well, but not much to work with. So, yeah,
so maybe we'll get to like him more. Maybe his character will. Oh, okay, he's pretty cool.
But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually he comes back to help the chief, and that's when Ha comes back in or something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think maybe Ha and Soren might be trying to free Madrigal, but I feel like with that, they have a deal with the UNSC. So then you're just starting a whole other like problem.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I don't know what's gonna go on with Ha. Or what? Like is Soren an independent? He just have an independent city. Interesting, because that's not in Halo. So this is definitely just taken, kind of just thrown.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, that was all. That's all.
I'm still really excited for the next episode. I won't lie. I've been thinking about it since we stopped watching. So I guess that's saying something.
Like I still like the show. I just think episode 2 was as good. And they could just episode 3. It could be best episodes ever. We'll forget episode 2.
Fingers crossed. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. And actually, I really am curious what everybody else thinks. Even if people are at the watch parties, if you want to tell us, because I feel like I know everybody seems to be liking it, but not exact opinions. Or people that aren't watching it, Trevor, let us know what you're thinking if you're watching. And I know the last episode got, at last I saw 35 views, so not terrible for how small we are. But let's each episode, let's try and get that higher. So let's do more than 35. I saw it was at 8 likes. Let's try and get more than that. A few comments, up that a little. Trevor, you're our guy. You know what to do.
Share it.
Yeah, I was just say share the good word. You saw it's very appropriate. It's family friendly. The blessed one. Hashtag the blessed one. And I think that's it. So as always, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at currentbacklog. And you can send any corrections, question, or feedback to currentbackloggers@gmail.com. We'll get him on one day. I'll get you next time. Maybe if I stay around, he'll do the clap.
I didn't know that's what you wanted.
I know that. I thought it just got funnier, but it's gonna get funny and then two. So it's gotta stop.
I didn't know if you wanted me to say something or clap also. But now I know. Next week I'll clap.